This program is brought to you by the Forbes-featured Freedom Hub Health Plan, the alternative to overpriced and restrictive insurance. The Freedom Hub Health Plan is exactly what you need. By Frequency Medicine Associates, supporting health professionals and laypersons with safe and effective advanced telemedicine-like technology that can scan and help rebalance the root causes of stress and illness. By the Planet Lockdown film, which can be seen on the Freedom Hub's Rumble channel along with many great speakers. And by The Pavilion, a 21st century community hub that brings together many of the disruptive innovations featured by the Freedom Hub, including direct pay healthcare, farm-to-table dining, TED-like Freedom Hub talks, and more. Visit your-mp.com/pavilion solution for details. Welcome, everybody, to Health, Biz, and Politics Wednesday. Let me do a screen share for those of you who are new, if I can make this work. And hope everyone's having fun and a great day. So you can find us at your-mp.com, your marketplace for health, wealth, and freedom, which we're all moving towards or already have, of course. What you want to do is, and you'll find our speakers, go to the Media Hub, your Media Hub, click on that. And that will take you to the page, I can make it a little larger, to show you who's coming up for Wednesday and Thursday's Freedom Hub show. And then also you can subscribe right here, left and right, which we recommend. And then read a little bit about our guests. See if you're interested, sign up. And down below, we have, you can check out past videos and our channels. Are not our channels, but we post on BitChute, Brighteon, Rumble, and occasionally, if it's not too out of the box, which is often sometimes, YouTube, because they bumped us a few times, of course. Right, Charlie? So let me stop the screen share and turn it over to the man who was just kind of censored on Facebook, Charlie Froman.
No surprise, truth isn't really popular with the mainstream. Let me share my screen real quick here and let you know how important this topic is. So a couple of decades ago, and I'm a Kundalini Yoga teacher like Kirtan Kaur and Dr. Ackland, who's also on the program. And Darshan Khalsa, whom I met at a call security, which I lobbied for back in the 2000s, had a book. Here's the book at Amazon. See how old it is? Transition Stress Management. There's been a lot of yogis who have penetrated the corporate space, and Guru Ganesha is one of the biggest ones in conscious consulting. We had him on too a few months ago. And let me also show you, a few months ago, we had Hargab and Khalsa present on retreats for the corporate venture people to get their head straight. And, we believe strongly here at Freedom Hub that it's not just about your body and mind, but also your spirit. So we're open to these kinds of conversations. And Kirtan Kaur is probably the leader among yogis today in getting CEOs to agree to let her come in and revamp their venture. And she'll explain her shtick. Here's a new book, How to Become a Conscious Leader. What I got from it in a cursory sense is that if the CEO buys into her techniques, then she's going to help the workers become their own CEOs. So it's a real empowerment message that I like a lot. And she's over in Holland, but her clients are worldwide, as is her message. So with that, I will stop sharing. And Kirtan Kaur, take it away.
Thank you so much. I will now start sharing my presentation. I will start out with the meaning of my name, as many people, like the yogis, understand, but many others, they feel like, what's your name? So I thought maybe I start out with that, so that's of your mind and you understand why I'm doing this. So Sat means truth. Kirtan is the devotional music played in the Indian temples. And Kaur is princess, Khalsa is the pure one. So for me, it means that I am the pure one who brings the truth as a divine song. And I had to think about that. And the more and more I meditate on this name, I really feel, yes, when we can speak the truth in a way people can hear it, it is really like this divine feeling that you really feel like, this is what I wanted to hear. And this is what I will come back to. And this is what I share with the people I work with. And the truth, sometimes we feel it's hard to say, but once we do it and once we know, okay, we can say the truth. Truth is my name. Truth is my identity. People will feel like, I can finally relax, and so much that's under the table will come up above the table. This is what we already are seeing right now, because we are in the transition from the Piscean age to the Aquarian age. The information is everywhere. Everything is in the open. So let me go into the presentation before I say everything. But truth is really something. It's really, if you're able to speak your truth, and if you can say the truth to someone, they won't like it at the first, maybe, but they will always remember and they will act upon it whenever they're ready. So I want to start out with the big, with the end in mind, and I really want this to be an interactive session. So I would love to hear from you, and you can either, say it in the chat. Maybe that's the best thing. What is it that you want to take away from this session? And I also have a QR code. If you didn't download the book yet, it's for free. You can download it, and it's really a message to be spread in the world. So you come to a page where you also see my program, but there somewhere on it, it's the link, you see free download, and it will take you to the free download page. So let me read out. What is it that you want to take away? So
I'm going to answer that.
Yes.
Well, we hear in the news so much about conscious quitting by the millennials and people wanting to stay home now that COVID has gotten them used to remote work. So it would seem to me that we would want to learn how to make the workplace a more conscious place, more fulfilling to go back to the corporate building.
If that's what you want, you go, right? But if it works out that if you as a leader, if you can really trust your people. I know, for example, one of the people I work with, he is very much into remote working, and all he does is give trust to the people, and they do the work. They do it in less time. They do it better because they can really focus. So I don't know if we want to push people to go back to the offices. I really feel like if we are able to give people the trust and the guidance, what is it that we want? And then when you are motivated from the inside, you will get your work done, and it doesn't matter where you are, you will do it. So, and you will connect, you will find this way. So I think the question should be different. The question should be, why are people quitting? How can it be? Why are they not feeling this motivation? For example, when I look at my daughter, she wakes up this morning, she wanted to go to her horse riding club, and her pony was his birthday. So she woke up like at 7 o'clock. She made a birthday cake for the pony, and she was so active. I was like, wow, she did all these things. And that was like on a normal day when she goes to school. she doesn't wake up like that. So it's the internal motivation. When we get inspired, when we know, oh, I really want to do something, and I really want to feel I can contribute here, then people do it. I also organize the Kundalini Yoga Festival for 4 or 5 years now here in Holland. And this is a festival done by Sevadar, so it's by volunteers. No one gets really paid for it, and it takes a lot of effort, a lot of time. But people love doing it because they are building something that they really feel like, oh, I want this to happen. And I think that when we allow ourselves and we know what it is that we really want to, what is it that we wake up for? So this is what I always work on with the people, the companies. What is it? You know, what is that drives you? What is it that drives you? What is it that motivates you from the inside? And once you know that, you get the right people on the right place. All you need to do, and this is what I tell the CEOs, you know, you're doing way too much. What your job is to really have a very much like the mental clarity. Know what it is that you want. Where do you want to go? And if you know that and you vibrate that, and this is your message is all clear on that, the people that feel resonating with that, they will come to you, and they will do the work. And of course, there's always, like, they always ask me, but how are the jobs that are not so nice or not so inspiring? Like, for example, like the cleaning up of the garbage. Who's going to do that? Is there someone like who feels interest from the inside motivated to do that? And I always say yes, because people want clean streets, you know, and they're all, I feel if we can trust, there's always someone who can do the job. And who, if as a leader, you know which jobs needs to be done. Because for me also, for the festival, if I know which jobs needs to be done, and I say, okay, I have this job, who wants to do it? Who feels resonating? Who, you know, who does it already or knows how to do it or wants to learn it? You always find the people. So it's really, and this is my main message, this is learn to trust and have this mental clarity. And that's why the yoga works so well and the meditation works so well, because if you do that, you have that mental clarity. You know what feels good. You know what is really not your thing. You're, and also you know that, you know, you have these limiting beliefs that, okay, yeah, I think I can do that. But if you do some meditation, sometimes you feel like, oh, I can, the whole world is mine, right? We have that experience that we can do so much more than we think we can. And if we can implement just a little bit of this, so much is changing. And I see that with the people, the CEOs I work with, is that they start asking different questions to the people that they work with. They feel like, I also feel like my family is important to me. I want to spend more time with them. I want to go to the gym during the week. I don't want to do that somewhere squeezed in. So they make like really choices that help themselves, take care of themselves. And then if like, when someone like that's working with them and ask them the same question, they have a different answer because they know how important it is for them. And if they give them the responsibility, then it really works out well. And of course, not in all cases, but then that was not a match at all. So it's better. This is what you see. People are being hired on attitude, not on skills. Because if we have the right attitude, we can learn the skills. And it's So this is really something that we will see. And also with the millennials, if they feel motivated and if they feel they can contribute something, they will do it. And they will do it in their way. And if you give them the responsibility to do it in their way, then they're very, very, very transformative, and they can really bring something very new to your company. So I always tell people to open yourself and have people in your team that you might feel like, I don't know if I can work with you. We have a total different energy, but it's good to have these different people in your team and to have this like naysayers. And, these are like, sometimes it's hard, but then you have to work a little bit harder to really make it a team and to hear all the different views. And when you can do that, your outcome is so much better. So that's a little bit of what I wanted to share with you. Let me see if I forgot something. I forgot like the model, but that's my popcorn mind. I studied in numerology, and I have a few trees in my, and I always say, if you have a tree, it's the popcorn. The idea is they just jump up. So, but this is the model that I use in the book and that I use in my programs, and I really feel like it's working. So the first step is you got to be conscious. If there's a problem, you got to know that there's a problem, and you got to know that there's a solution. So you got to know, and that's the first step. So you're like, okay, so you know what you want and you don't know what you don't want. That's like this first step. And then once you know that, you feel like, okay, I want it different. I want to change something. And then I would say, okay, make a commitment. And that's why always Yogi Bhajan has us to do a set for 40 days or 90 days, or really make that commitment. Because if you commit to something, you will it will change gradually, but you will feel it. And if you can commit with joy, and not like it's like this rigid, I need to do it now, but commit from your heart. And every day again, you're like, oh yeah, I'm doing this because it's helping me to create this. So you remind yourself why you are committing. So it's really like a conscious commitment. And it's not something that's put up from the outside. No, it's from the inside. What is it that you want? And if you want something, you commit to it. And, that gives you the character to do and to make different decisions and to say, okay, no, I have this commitment. So I want to wake up in the early in the morning, or I want to finish this because it's really something that's important to you, because you have that commitment, and it helps you to build your character. And that character gives you the courage to say no, or to say, yes, I'm ready to do this, or I'm ready to do it differently, or let's try it, do new things. Because we are in a changing era. We need to learn to just be courageous and do it, experience it. And from the experience, we learn. And it doesn't need to be perfect. And that's not about it. It's about having the experience and learning all the time. And the more you learn, the more you reflect on yourself, and the more you get to know yourself, and more parts of you are being used. And that's how you can live up to your caliber. And, it's a spiral, so it goes up. And you can go through it quicker and quicker and quicker, but you keep on going like, okay, it's a never ending story. And I think that's very good, because our life is just evolving, and it's moving. So we are never standing still. We are always on the move. And also you see this all around you. Everything is in the move. So yeah, That's the main message in the book. And from that, I made 5 lessons. I call them vital lessons CEOs can learn from a yogi to build trust and make an impact. And I based them upon the 5 basic techniques that we teach people from the business yoga. And in the business yoga, we teach people the posture, breath, focus, tension, how to deal with tension, and mind or sound. So these are the 5 things, because I also wrote another book. It's called Bye Bye Stress in 9 minutes or less. And in that one, there are the 9-minute meditation. So 3 exercises of each 3 minutes. And these are so powerful from the Kundalini Yoga. And when you do that, you just feel like your whole energy system changed, and you can recharge yourself in just these 9 minutes. So from these 5, I wanted to make the link between the 2 books. So that's why I use them as a, yeah, as a container, I can say. So these are the 5 lessons. And the first one is connected to the posture. It's like you create your own world by your own thoughts. So and if you know that, it's better to create something beautiful and meaningful, right? So, and then the second is really the body, and it's it's this body. So in Yogi Bhajan, and we always say your body is your temple. And I remember hearing it for the first time when it took my soul 8.4 million incarnations to receive this human experience. And that was such an impact on me. I was like, wow, 8.4 million incarnations it took. And now I have this beautiful body. I better really respect it and treat it with dignity, and I really love it, because it's not just something right now. This is really, we have this opportunity here, and we sometimes forget, and we sometimes get so much stuck into the negativity and all the things around us that we don't even have any influence on, but it does have an influence on how we feel. So whenever I have too many of these negative influences, I remind myself, oh, but it took my soul 8.4 million incarnations. So really do something here on this earth, and let's have our heart into the things, and be there for each other, be there for yourself, take care of yourself, and don't just eat all kinds of stuff to numb yourself, because it's not worth it. It's really nice to be on earth and to enjoy this life. And then also another thing I learned is that when you're born, you're even born with a specific number of breaths. So it's really good to use them wisely and not to spend them on things that you feel like, oh, I don't want to do that. Really feel what it is that you want, and live from your heart, and do whatever you're doing, do it with the 100% that you can do it. And don't spend too much breath and words on negativity, on fighting, because it's not going to bring you, or on being right, because many people try to be right and they want to fight for it, and it's not worth it. You are connect to your own Satnam, and know that the other person also is connecting to their Satnam, or help them to cultivate that within themselves. And then the 4th lesson is that courage. So really be courageous enough to let go, and to let God, and to relax. Because I feel, speaking for myself, but also seeing it in the world, is that we try to so much. We really do too much our best. We are trying too hard to and we are putting our energy into things that we don't even have any influence on. So really, if you come from your own inner knowing and you're relaxed, then you are really aligned. And then whatever you say is like this truth bomb, you know, it's really like, oh, this is really making sense. But once there's also so much that's been said or done, but it's not aligned. And I can feel for myself when that happens. My kids really know when I'm aligned or when not. And we feel that. So whenever you're being asked to do something, and this is something that I still remember from my corporate time, I sometimes had to do things and I really felt like, why should I do that? But because I was asked to do it, I kind of did it in the beginning, but because, you know, of the hierarchy, and it's the thing that it's just what you do, it's what you learn to do, to listen. But listen to your own inner self, and the more you relaxed you are, the better you are connected to this inner self. And yeah, the last lesson is really to create that higher frequency of yourself. And this is what we do when we tune in with our higher self, and we connect to this higher self, and we allow that, and we bow to the wisdom, which is so much bigger and so much greater than us. And once you are able to connect to that, you can feel it, and I feel guided. And when you feel that guidance, you have so much more power to the words that you speak, power to the actions that you do. And when we act from this higher frequency, we lift up ourselves and others, and that's how we create a better and more loving world. And one of the things that I love to do is, when we are in a meeting room, I always ask, like, one chair is empty, and we put a big heart on that chair. And when there's a round of decision making, everyone has to say whatever they see or see things. And then we ask, love, what is it that you want to add to this decision? And everyone can be the voice of love. And if you can add that voice of love into your decision making, your decisions are included with love, and they're more carried through, and people are more connected when they're able to do this. And it's a very easy and simple way to bring love into the organization. Another thing is just to bring the silence in. Silence is such a powerful method to really connect and allow people to give that moment to really come back to themselves and to their own truth. And then from that truth, allow them to speak. So these are the things that I learn my students, and I learn the people I work with to do, and of course many other things, but these two are my go-to things. And it doesn't seem like it's a big thing, but it still feels very precious to be in a meeting room and to be in silence, or to be in a meeting room and to talk about love, and to ask, what is love? Think about this. The more and more we can integrate this, the more we can take really conscious decisions and we change the world, I think. So that's what I wanted to share with you. I would love to hear your comments and hear your questions and your holy moly.
I'll start, Kirtan, and thank you for those beautiful slides and messages. And folks, you can click the raise hand icon under reactions to ask your question. So once you break the ice and get the CEO and management comfortable with your consulting to let God and raise the frequency to bring in love and to have all those benefits for the workers, a much more productive, easygoing environment. Is there a conversation that takes place, or do you break into a technique to get everyone to loosen up, a breath work or something?
It depends on the company and the way they have already accustomed to it. But yes, breathing work is very good. And usually I work first one-to-one with the CEO so that he or she really feels comfortable with this. And once this is, a comfortable, then he or she is really easy to introduce me and say, okay, now we're going to do something and I really want to, and then I can just say it, and we bring the pillow with a heart, or if there's not a pillow, we just make a heart. And it's a very easy way, and everyone can connect to the heart. It's everyone has a heart, everyone knows the word the heart is speaking, and you have such a beautiful conversations coming up through just adding a picture of the heart. So yeah, I'm always amazed by that.
And what kind of follow-up have you maintained with some of your better corporate clients to keep the energy going, or is it a one-time visit?
It depends. In some companies, I also some people that I train as a business yoga teacher, so they keep up and they provide like weekly sessions, like half an hour, just these 9-minute meditations. So people can come in either in a lunch break or in another time setting, or before work or after. And there they do, because the 9-minute meditations are short Kundalini Yoga kriyas, but everything is within it. And people really love it. And I remember from my time when I still worked at ING and I was giving these sessions, people said, oh, this is why I come to my work today, because I really needed it. And I was like, oh, wow, thank you. But, you're also important to do your job. But when you're not really aligned and happy at your place, then to have a space where you can really be and be seen. And also the conversations afterwards, I always had like a little tea or water. And what we discussed after the session was always like human. It was personal. It was things that people didn't dare to say before, but they really felt like they needed to share this. And it's so important to have this safe space within a company where people can really let go of their stress, so they don't need to take it home, and they can, leave it there, and have people also at work that know what's going on within, and to be a human at work and not just a head that makes money and does some things that they're being paid for. But we're humans, so if we can be a human at work, we have less stress.
And are you able to tell us what one of those 3-minute techniques might be? Like I recall Russell Brand, the comedian celebrity on YouTube, he was kind of showing folks how to do ego eradicator,
Yeah,
breath of
that's
fire. And I don't know, do you feel comfortable showing us one technique or?
Yeah, totally. The one I love to do is it's a 9-minute meditation to release stress. And we can do it like each exercise should be 3 minutes, but if we do 1 minute each, still you can really feel the effect of it. So if I saw another question, maybe we want to answer that first and then we do the experience. I saw Dr. Anil asking a question from India.
Actually, let me jump in. I think he was just really
I just-
praising what you're
okay.
doing. But it was Dr. Ackland was wondering about, hear you talk about the holy moment language, like maybe how we can use that to help awaken people in today's world, access that. It's nice to be on earth energy. And then we'll go to Linda and then we'll keep going. Yeah.
Well, Tom, do you want to elaborate?
I think you probably anticipated the question without actually seeing it, because I loved your empty chair technique, and that's kind of what prompted it. Is that old story about the Messiah is among you, and you presenced it. So, if anything else, that's a great technique. But if you have any other thoughts on that, I'd love them, and thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, but just having that heart energy in the room, it connects to our heart and it brings you to your heart. And we need the heart energy, especially in the decision rooms or in the meeting rooms. We need the heart energy in the business world, because we are humans going to work. And, this is the thing I always say, also as a CEO, and many of them, they feel like, oh yeah, but I can't cry, because if I cry, or I can't break up, because if I break up, everything falls down. So to be and to give them a space where they can break down and be built up again, and to just to be human, opens such a space within companies, and they really, really need it. And usually I can't do that like with the workers, because they really don't feel comfortable with that. So I work with them separately, but I really give them the space to just be. Because this is the time, right? Be to be. Before in the Piscean age, we were to be or not to be. But now in the Aquarian age is be to be, and allow yourself to be. And I remember Gurmukh teaching, and she's talking about how the goose, how they lead. And there's one goose always in front, but then when he's tired, he just goes back and another one takes over. When one is ill, another one goes down with that one and wait until that one is either dead or back strong enough, and then they fly back again. But we as leaders, we think that we should be the leader and we're should be so strong and keep up all the time. But as a leader, you also have that support system, and you can, you don't need to perform all the time. You can have your down times and up times, and try to integrate that in yourself, and don't blame yourself for that. That's what one of the biggest things, or don't try to hide it, because people will see it and people will feel it. Remember, I hide it. I thought I should be happy because I had like everything. And then I was on a holiday in Namibia, and my driver, he said, "You're not happy." And I broke down in tears because I was doing so much I pretended so much. I was so happy because I had everything I should have to be happy. So I was just making myself be happy, but he just went right through it. And I was like, you just saw me one time and you can just see that and feel that. It's not fair. I did so much by that. So, but that opened something in me. And if we can open that within ourselves, you know, we don't need to show off. We can just be ourselves. And of course, there's a lot of ego involved in business.
But let me, Sada, just to jump in a second, and actually I see Ingo's on our Zoom, who recommended a film called Superhuman, I believe it is, Superhuman. And if you watch that, I don't know if anyone's seen it, but you've got everybody talking about remote viewing, our ability to like wear blindfolds and see and read and do things, and basically all of that with kids. It's amazing, really good stuff, which shows, as you're talking about, we are so much more, right? And if you can actually start getting that, I mean, again, through these practices, because it's silence, it's so forth and so on, into the workplace and to the people, you know, with that heart connection, it's, wow, we're going to really shoot forward.
Right.
Yeah. So let me actually, I have another one or two things I do want to, because one of the questions, one of our guys dropped out of the group. We have a Christian perspective that doesn't, let's say, look well upon yoga. I know you've probably heard or dealt with that. So I want to come back to that because I think that's important to like touch on that. But let's see, Linda, your hand's been up for a while. So what's on your mind?
Yes. First of all, when I feel totally stressed out, I do 15 minutes grounding in a forest. I made a walking path and I feel totally relaxed. Now, my question to you. For many years, myself and my autistic son, we used to do hatha yoga and yoga. So yoga had no effect at all on us. With good coaches, but we could not find any difference. Although hatha yoga did miracles in our life. Like you could say that my son's autism totally disappeared. My problems like having a right arm totally paralyzed, it became normal. And many other things. How you can explain that and what is the difference between hatha yoga techniques and yoga techniques?
Well, there are many, many different schools of yoga. And I feel, for me, I came through Kundalini Yoga, through the internet, I found it, and I felt like I felt home. And I think that, you know, like you said, Hatha yoga, is it for me? Stay with it, stick with it, and practice it. You know, there's so many techniques, and for each and every one, something works. So don't try to, you know, be blessed that you found something that really helps you, and continue practicing it, and allow yourself to, you know, when you feel the impulse to try something different, then you start trying something different, but not from like this, I want to know why. Just, you know, feel the impulse and follow it, and know that the right teacher will be on your path whenever you're ready for it. But now be blessed that you have this, and it's working because it's aligning you with yourself. It's aligning your body. It's giving you this moment of peace where your mind is distracted. And in Kundalini Yoga, we use a lot of mantras that help us to distract our mind as well. So we don't, because our mind is just in the way all the time. So we need to get out of the way. And like saying it sat on the inhale, nam on the exhale can help. But if it works for you to just count from 1 to 10, that's perfect. Don't feel like, oh, something is better. No, this works for you. Wow. Really be blessed and continue doing it. would be my take on it.
You know, the sad thing is that my Hatha yoga coach retired, and now I'm searching for someone else. And in some places they told me everything depends of the qualification of the coach to do that.
But also the qualification of your question. So
I was sitting in the corner and crying from pain. And the coach told me, Linda, come on and join us. You will do everything as everyone else. In 10 minutes, the pain for 1 year, the paralyzed almost arm disappeared.
I know, I had the same when I had for 3 years, and in 3 weeks it was gone. So it can happen, but it's because we align ourselves and we follow and we trust our heart. And because I remember that, like with Kundalini Yoga, I saw my teacher, she was wearing a big turban and a big smile she had. And I was in Amsterdam and she opened the door and I was like, oh my gosh, I only had seen like a picture of this Yogi Bhajan. Now I know, but he has like a big beard and like a guru. I didn't know anything about it. I just went, and then I saw that and I went there and I was like, oh my God, where am I? Because I'm originally from the north of Holland, and you know, I'm really raised like, just be normal, that's more than enough. You don't need to go anywhere strange. And I remember being there and they were singing mantras. They're like the Tana Tana Guru Ramdas. It's really like one, it's not easy to pronounce. And it really sounded like, wow, I don't know. And they ate food that I never ate before, like quinoa. And I don't know what else they made, but it was all different. And my mind was really like, oh, and they were sitting on the floor and they were touching each other. And I was like, I don't know. I really had to get used to that. And my mind was like, no, but my heart said, let's try it. So I tried it and I started loving it. And my pain went away, just like you said. Like for 3 years, I suffered. I was like, I couldn't carry a bag. I couldn't be working on my computer. I couldn't do all these things. And then I started this and I was like, I could do like the downward facing dog on my hands. I was like, this I shouldn't be doing, but I could do it. I was like, oh, okay, I can do it. So we can do so much more and we can heal our body if we trust, if we listen, and if we feel and practice it. Just, you know, really listen to your body, and your teacher will come. It will show, you know, okay, this is my teacher. And then you know, and then you stay with it or not until you feel like, okay, I've done, I need another teacher, or I'm going to be my own teacher. You know, just don't worry about it too much. Just be to be.
We are beings, right? We are
Right.
beings.
Yes.
We are being. Exactly.
Yes,
So
but yeah.
Yeah, let me go back to this for the Christian CEOs, okay, or people that have heard that once you, and to relate this, I was looking at an article. Well, when you get into that silence and you open up and connect, you open up a space for demons to come in, or they can come in, which actually is a valid point. So, I mean, we know that on the energetic level, anything is possible. But I want to know, yeah, I mean, is that something when you teach that there's some protection around you or not? Or this is just, how do you counter that argument? Or what do you say? I mean, I don't buy into it, but some people do clearly so, right?
Well, I've never forced anyone to join my sessions. So if they don't feel they should be in there, then I say, okay, you know, in half an hour it will be done, or in 1 hour will be done. So if like a whole meeting, then one person is not joining. And sometimes people feel like, oh, yoga is only for my wife when she has the pregnancy yoga. You know, we have had things like that, and I rather go play football. But then they do hear sometimes our sounds. I remember one session we did like the heart really from the navel, and I think this person was not in the session but heard us make this sound. And he was the one, he came, whenever he saw me, he was like, Har. I was like, oh, you did pick up something. So we cannot force anyone. This is not up to us to judge. We're here. I always say, I offer the space. If you want to experience it, it's nothing to do with a religion, or, you know, you'll just become a better person. If you want to be a better Christian, a better person, join. You will, it will open your heart, and you will learn to trust yourself more. And if they're not ready, not able, whatever, it's
So you've never seen anything like this. I mean, problems or whatever, right? It's probably, it could be just disinformation, like all of that that's out there today.
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
I have had this exact example that people said, oh, I can't join because of my religion. Yoga is in the religion books, and I'm not allowed to do that. I always bless them. I just bless them. And, you know, who am I? I'm not going to say, you have to come and do this. That's not my style. And it's not working, I think. Whenever they feel ready, you're always welcome to have the experience. And if I would love to give you an experience, but I don't know if we still have some time.
We
Dude,
do. Go ahead.
Charlie, do you want to actually, I was going to say one more thing, but do we want to do this experience in the video, like that's recorded, or for the group afterwards? What do you think?
Let's do it with the recording.
Do it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready. All right. So one thing is important, and that is that you sit up straight. It's yoga is alignment. Leadership is alignment. So align yourself with yourself. Close your eyes. Feel your sitting bones on the floor. And just relax. Breathe. Be. Feel the inhale coming in through the nose, and also exhale through your nose. Feel the sitting bones on the floor. Your chin is in, your chest is out, your crown is the highest point. Focus your eyes on the third eye point. And rub your hands together, make them nice and warm. And if you want to know that we're working with energy, it's when you bring your hands a little bit apart from each other. And then if you bring them back, you can feel the energy in between. So we were really working with something that we can feel. You can play with it. Just breathe on, feel, and bring your hands together in prayer pose. And that's a prayer, but also your hands have a big part of your brain. And when you touch your hands like this, it balances your left and right hemisphere. So you become more calm. Because yoga is a technique, it's a science, and it works. You can have the experience. So sit like this. We're going to tune in to our higher self, to our inner wisdom by chanting Om Namo Gurudev Namo. You might have not heard it before, but these words you say, I bow to the wisdom which is within me. I bow to the wisdom which is all around me. And let that the universe guide me. So inhale deep. Exhale. And this is to call on to the universe and to call on to your own higher self. If you have not done it before, you just be quiet, listen, or hum along. Inhale to start. We do it 3 times. Om Namo Gurudev. Hold your breath. Press your hands together, make your spine long, straight, pull the navel in, squeeze all your muscles and vibrate. Mantra, listen to your inner voice. Exhale and relax your hands. We're gonna leave our left hand on our lap and we're gonna make a movement with our right arm from the tip of the nose until our navel. Can't really see it, but it's moving like this. Let me get my timer. We do it 1 minute. Normally we do it 3, but we're just gonna do it quickly. And this is an introduction so you can feel it. And what I want you to do is you look with your eyes to the middle of your chin and you just allow your breath to come. You don't need to pay attention to it. But move your hand up and down. And this is a great way to let go of all the things that might worry you. Send them away, far, far away. Or if you have an illness within you, send that illness and that pain far, far away from you. And allow peace and joy to come into your heart. Now continue with your hand, with the right hand, and make a fist of your left one and squeeze it as powerfully as you can. Really, really squeeze your left hand while you move your right hand as fast as you can. It's a meditation, but we're moving the energy. Just breathe normally. Keep your eyes on the middle of the chin. It helps to stop your optic nerve to secrete any new thoughts, so it becomes more quiet in your head. Faster with the right hand and squeeze your left hand tighter. And while you're doing that, all the other muscles are relaxed. So your tongue is relaxed, your jaws are relaxed, your eyes are relaxed. And inhale, stop the movement, squeeze all your muscles, all of them. Hold the breath, squeeze a bit more. So we need to have this tension so we can really feel the relaxation. So now relax, let go. Feel your breath. Relax. Relax your eyes, relax the breath, your hands. Now for the second part, we're going to do 3 parts. What you're going to do is your left palm is facing down, right palm is facing up, and you're going to make a small movement. So yeah, if you're close to your desk, make sure that you move a little bit back so you're not going to hurt yourself. Again, eyes are in the middle of the chin. Move as fast as you can. Balance yourself. We're for the biggest part of our body consisting of water, so you can really balance yourself. And if you can relax your jaw and your tongue, you can even feel your brain moving and balancing out. Move as fast as you can. The last intense exercise, the other one is nice and relaxed, but now really give it everything you got. Breathe, move. Last 10 seconds, maybe you can even go faster without thinking. Allow your hands to go faster. Inhale, stop the movement. Left hand is on the heart center, which is in the middle in the yoga. Right hand is on top of it. You're straight. And now when you exhale, you bring one ear to your shoulder like a clock. And then when you inhale, your head is straight. And then on the next exhale, you move to the other side. You feel your heartbeat underneath your hands. And just continue like that for a little bit. Feel the tension release your body. Feel your heartbeat. You can listen to the sound Sat and Nam. Sat on the inhale, Nam on the exhale. And 2 more times. Really let go. And then come to the center, stretch your fingers and stretch your arms all the way up. Keep on stretching and find space where you can stretch a bit more from the base of the spine till the fingertips. Make yourself tall. Elongate your spine. Keep on breathing and just stretch. Stretch, stretch, stretch. We sit so much during the day behind the computer. We are all grouped in, and we really need to stretch our spine. Give yourself the space. Feel that. And also, it's really your space where you're standing. So make yourself big, tall. And now inhale very deep. Hold your breath and squeeze all your muscles. Squeeze tight. We're going to do an exhale through the mouth, which is called cannon fire, to let go all the tension. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll do it 2 more times. Inhale. Hold and squeeze. Tighten all your muscles. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let go. Stay in position. Inhale. Hold and squeeze and stretch. Feel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cannon fire. Slowly, consciously bring your arms down. And just sit for 1 minute and feel, meditate, relax. Get your breath. Inhale. Place your hands on your heart. Relax the breath. We're going to close. But before we close this short intermezzo, ask yourself, what is it that you're taking away? What is it that your body your mind wants to tell you. You're now in a very receptive mode. You can listen. So listen to your inner voice. And one more time, bring the hands together. As we opened with Om Namo, we close with 3 times Sat Nam to really tell ourselves truth is our identity, and give ourselves the courage and the permission to speak our truth, to live our truth, to be our truth. And the Sat is very long and Nam is short. Inhale deep. Sa Nam. Sa Sa. Sat Nam. If you want, you can bow your head and bring it lower than your heart, or yeah, you bring your head lower than your heart, so heart gets more space. Within 10 minutes.
That was great. That was great.
You're welcome. Yeah, feel like a mini holiday, huh? Yeah.
I think you'd be a tough trainer at the gym.
Continue, yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yes. Yeah. And all the exercises, these all can be done in a meeting room, sitting on a chair,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You don't need anything. You don't need any fitness. You don't just sit down, do it. Just need someone to say that to you. And that's all.
Thank you. So Charles, anything you want to add, or should we wrap up, or you can close us?
Kirtan, thank you for that. That was enjoyable. You know, folks probably know that I also teach Kundalini Yoga. So I'm a big fan and definitely biased on that. Why don't you tell folks how to reach you if they want to get this into their venture? Okay,
good. The best thing, maybe I can write it. I put it here. I have a website. It's investinyoga.com. And on this page, you can also find the book and the program that I offer. And the best thing is just to book a call with me. And then we look, what is it that your company or your individual person, what is it that you need? And from your needs, we look and we see how can we be a supportive partner for you. And that's how it works.